Okay, so welcome, and we are starting the session on our PfMP. This is our first session on facilitating awareness around PfMP. For PGMP, PMI-ACP, PMP, we have been doing it for a while. And since we started supporting PfMP, so I thought, why don't I create a little bit awareness about a PfMP program? Typically, what I do is that I explain the program by using PMI content. So we go through the PMI website, I clarify the process, eligibility, and type of people who usually do PfMP. And then we take your specific queries. Yeah, I also give a little brief how we as an iZenBridge can support you in getting PfMP certified. That is also a one section. And any query which can help you in making right decision about your PfMP certification, we can talk about that. Yeah. In between of the sessions, I will keep taking pause, and during those pauses, we can talk about your questions. You can also put your questions in the chat. So in between, if there is something, I will pick that up. Yeah, it's not like I have to finish everything and we will take the question at the end only. We keep talking and taking the questions based on whatever we have covered at that point in time. So directly starting by the visiting the PMI website, and I'm sharing the link in the chat. So in case you want to visit along with me, you can do that. So here we can find the details related to PMI's Portfolio Management Professional Certificate, PfMP. Initially, they talk about what is the eligibility. So it is expected to be done by the people who have at least 8 years of experience. That is something they are hoping. And then they explain details about the program. Now, first thing we probably want to understand, who is the right segment or right professional for PfMP program? What we are observing, individuals who are working in a portfolio, then it's a simple case. They are expected to do PfMP because they are working as a portfolio manager. Or individuals may not be having designation as a portfolio manager, but working as an account manager. Or sometimes they have a responsibility which includes managing the portfolio, but the designation may be called vice president director, that kind of designation. Those are the type of individuals we see doing the PfMP certification. Yes, the portfolio management is a strategic work. It requires your experience, your background. Getting into PfMP certification can help you in putting the right words in your conversation. And PMI tells, we are using those type of tasks, those kind of artifacts, which are more prominently seen in the professional world where people are doing portfolio management. So if I want to polish my language, if I want to demonstrate my competency into a portfolio space, which I'm already doing, that kind of need can help me in doing PfMP certification. We also see individuals who are coming from product management space and they want to get into more strategically advisory space. They are doing PfMP program. We also see individuals who have been doing program management, but they want to get into more consultative and advisory roles now. They are also inclined towards doing PfMP certification. The number of people who are PfMP certified are pretty low. You can probably maybe less than few thousands. Yeah. In India, I have a number, it's around 225 people, 25, 24 people. So it's a less number. That's something we can call it, lesser than PGMP or PMP. PMP definitely is the most popular program, but it's a niche program. If you see that this is something can help you in putting your profile at a right place, then you may want to do a PfMP certification. So that's the usual thing which I feel when I talk to individuals. Now, the second question, which someone may start thinking, what they really test, what kind of content get tested in the PfMP program. So we'll talk about that. And then we will also talk about the eligibility criteria for it. Let's get into the content first, and then we talk about the eligibility because both are pretty much interconnected. We can take it in any sequence. Now, when you are at a PMI website, you can download something called exam content outline. They also call it ECO. You click this button, it will open up the exam content outline. I already clicked it, so I'm directly opening what is there in the file. So all PMI certificates, they have a process that they do a survey. Based on the survey, they understand what should be the competency of this particular profile. And based on that, they come up with something called exam content outline. The same thing is working in case of PfMP certification as well. And they have listed out some tasks. Now, task is like the type of work the portfolio advisor, portfolio manager, portfolio lead will do. Yeah, that's something they are thinking. And then they are also grouping these tasks into 5 categories. They call it domain. So in a PfMP exam, we get tested under these 5 domains. There is around more or less equal. 15% is the minimal number and 25% is the maximal number, is the weightage of these tasks. Strategic alignment, for example, 25%, governance 20, portfolio performance 25, and then there is a risk and communication 15%. So this is the ratio at which the PMI is going to test us around these skills. The idea of strategic alignment is ensuring the portfolio remains aligned to organization strategic objective, always taking inspiration for prioritizing the work inside the portfolio from the strategic direction of the organization, keep revisiting the strategic direction if the strategic direction is changing, managing that strategic change and implementing it in a portfolio. So those kind of activities will fall under strategic alignment. Now, we are expected to understand the one thing I'm just reiterating, and I'm sure most of you already know, the way we see a portfolio is a collection of projects, programs, and some of the operational activities which are put together in order to achieve a strategic objective for the organization. So you can say there is a line of business which is having multiple projects and programs. The organization may create a portfolio for it, and they create a group of individuals, and you might be a part of that group, who is responsible for ensuring maximum profitability out of various operations which are happening under that particular group. These projects and programs could be related, could be independent, yeah, but they are related to a strategic objective. Most of the organization will bring some logical way of creating the portfolio, sometime based on geography, sometime based on customer segment, sometime based on type of application. For example, IT company may create a cloud portfolio which takes care of many cloud implementation and products which they are running in the organization. Or they may be creating a portfolio like, oh, we should have a retail segment portfolio and the B2B portfolio separate, and various initiatives which are happening in the retail segment may come under that particular one portfolio. Various happening into the corporate segment, enterprise customers segment may come into the different portfolio. So ensuring this group which comes on with me, under me, remains aligned to organization strategic objective, that's a strategic alignment. Then we focus on governance, the overall oversighting of various components which are under us, ensuring they remain aligned to the strategic objective, providing them appropriate support, keeping them focus towards the overall benefit realization of that initiative is a governance part. And very well refinement of portfolio, categorizing of the portfolio may also be included as a part of a governance activity. Then on an ongoing basis, we need to make sure portfolio performance get tracked, improved, and we take care of various changes to ensure that we are achieving what we've expected to achieve. So you can say the overall benefits type of management comes under portfolio performance. And then we talk about risks, which is a usual risk, but risk at a portfolio level is little different. It is not about that minimizing negative risk and maximizing opportunity. It is also about taking some calculated risk. How much risk we can take for this kind of portfolio, how much investment risk we can take. So we also think of risk versus reward kind of thinking when we focus on portfolio level risk management, and then project program level risk management thought process remains as it is. Then we have a communication, which is a usual thing. Communication is needed for any domain, project, program, portfolio. That's the idea. But we understand the communication is more happening with the strategic groups. It's more inclined towards making some strategic business decisions. So this is the 5 domains. And in the exam content outline, you can find more detail. I give you a brief detail about it. These are the tasks which are expected to be done by the portfolio manager who is getting PfMP certified. Yeah, so this is your exam content outline. Any question before I get into the mechanics of eligibility and the process? As of now, what I think I have covered is explanation of who should do PfMP and brief explanation of what you expect coming in the PfMP exam, or it also helps you in understanding, is this a right thing for me? Because when you get to know what is getting covered, you also get that particular clarity. Go ahead, Jamal.
Yeah, this Jamal. Uh, I mean, Thank you for the session. Regarding this, I have one doubt. Uh, for this program, for this PFMP certification program, with an experience of 14 years, let's say, for example, for mine as well, with project controls in the department, I've been working with the oil and gas construction project. So would it be helpful and how it will be aligned for my career growth as in terms of project controls and planning? So
Perfect. We'll
this is
talk
my
about
first
that.
question.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
talk about
Yeah.
that. And another question I got is this an 8-year requirement as a portfolio management or just in general? So let me cover the eligibility, and I think both the things will get covered well. Yeah, and then we can talk
So
more if it
thank
is
you.
not getting covered. So now we go to the tab called path to certification. And the first step in the path to certification is checking your eligibility. Yeah, so they tell you need to check your eligibility. I click here. So what PMI is expecting for the individuals who have done bachelor degree, they are expecting total 8 years of professional experience. Professional experience could be any experience where you are working in a professional setup. Yeah, say you may be working as a manager, operational manager, project manager. Overall, you are working in a professional setup. So they are expecting you should have worked for 8 years. Yeah. And this 8 years should be coming out of 15 years. In the last 15 years, you should be working in a professional setup for 8 years. That's the one requirement. The second requirement, if you are a bachelor degree, is that you need to demonstrate 4 years of portfolio management experience within past 15 years. So if I answer the chat question, the portfolio experience is needed for 4 years. Yeah, that's the another factor. Now, if I am working as a project control in a setup like a PMO or a portfolio group, where I may not be a decision maker, but I am facilitating and compiling various information which helps my organization to make portfolio level decisions, then I can definitely represent my experience as a portfolio manager experience. Yeah. But it is more like it is not about representing the experience, it is also about your future career. So you need to see that I want to work as a strategically advisory, analytical role rather than execution role. I'm not getting things done. I'm not working with a team. I'm not solving day-to-day problem. I am working with the data. I'm working with the trends. I'm working with the senior management. I'm thinking of converting strategies into actionable initiative. And those actionable initiative, I go back and recommend to my steering committee. They approve it. And once they approve it, then I get the delivery team start picking up those things and getting things delivered, and we keep doing review of what kind of benefits these teams are delivering on a periodic basis. But I am more at a strategically advisor level role. I may not be a decision maker. Decision is a complicated thing which happens as per the organization setup, because you are thinking about where to put a money. There will be a group of people, governance group, steering committee, who might be taking those decisions. They will be definitely listening to your advices. That is the job you are doing. Yeah. So if you are doing it at some extent, and if you inspire, like your inspiration, your future aspirations are that I want to keep doing that work because that is where I feel I'm good, then I think you should do PFMP certification, and probably it can help you in getting your future target role where you are professional doing that thing only in some time. So that is what I can recommend. Again, certification, how it results into career progression depends upon many factors, but that is the best line we can think of. Yeah. So these two are the eligibility requirement. If someone has not done the bachelor degree, then the number of years of experience needed for portfolio management will increase. Yeah. So for example, I have done a high school and after that I am into professional work. So I definitely need to show 8 years of experience, but I need to demonstrate 7 years of portfolio management experience. Also because now I am working differently. Yeah. So that's because I have a lack of education. So I need to fill that lack of education with my experience details. Most of you will be filing here. So this is how it works. So this is a small eligibility requirement. And then the second question may come, how they are going to test it, how they are going to validate it, what is the process of putting the eligibility. We will discuss that in the next segment now. Yeah. So eligibility clear? Now how it works, yeah, or in a way, how it works as a process. Yeah, sequence of a thing. So one has to create an account at pmi.org and start filling the details. That's it. Yeah, you can create it now and you start putting that information on the PMI website. Now somebody may think how PMI is going to validate, like, have I really worked on these organization and these portfolio? So probably based on your other experience related to PMI certifications, it's a basically a trust-based system. It's 99% of the time what you explain in your application is get accepted. That's it. Yeah, they don't need any paper proof beyond that. But there will be 1 or 2% cases where they go for something called audit, where they will ask you to provide some supporting evidence. Usually, the supporting evidence they ask for, they will give you some. They will ask you to provide reference to some of the individuals who can tell that yes, this person has worked in this area. I was working with him. That's it. Uh, very rare they will ask you to get a letter from the organization may be closed by now also. That's also a possibility. So not need of a particular professional email ID where they can verify these things. So that kind of detailing can only happen if someone complains against you, but in general, they won't go into that much detail. So you need to be clear about what you want to do next. Eligibility is something you can manage, but it should add value to your future path as well, else it may not be that much useful for you. Now, when you think of understanding the application, let me briefly show you how application works. You just need to open an account at pmi.org. It's a free account which you can open now also. And after going to PfMP, you may start saying, I want to focus on application. Yeah, so they will give you an interface where you need to start filling the application. Now, some of you may have done PMP. The PMP application and PfMP application is little different, or I would say PMP application and PfMP and PGMP applications are little different. In case of PMP, PMI-ACP, the PMI staff just validate do you meet the eligibility criteria. And if you meet it, you can go for the exam. And that's there. In case of PfMP, the application has a two segments. One segment to justify that I meet the eligibility criteria. Second segment is like a test of your experience, where they ask you to answer some set of questions and explain how your experience quality is in those areas. And that particular section get evaluated by experts. And it's like a step one of your PfMP exam. Yeah, it's a kind of a formal exam, yeah, where description is only getting read. And if they feel your quality of experience is good, then only you can go for second step, which is an online exam. So application is little different, or the seriousness of application is little different compared to your generic PMP or PMI-ACP kind of setup. Now, this is how your application will look like once you open an account at pmi.org. And you need to start with explaining what is my academic education. You need to put a detail, yeah, basic detail. The business experience is the second thing, which is also a very basic details. You need to talk about when I started my job, what I am doing, what is my title. If you have worked on to many organizations, you can add more experiences here. And whenever the total completes 8 years, they will give you a green mark here, that yeah, you are good to move forward. But if it is not, then they will keep showing you some details. Yeah, so that's how you put it, that the general information only needed for professional experience. The major focus is your portfolio experience. So here you define your portfolio experience first at a level of eligibility alone. When you define your portfolio experience, you are expected to clarify, yeah, in general, what was the portfolio? Yeah, or what is the portfolio? What kind of business need you are catering to? You may give a brief information about your organization also. Then you talk about what kind of components you have in your portfolio. You give a little brief, and then you talk about what you do in that portfolio. Yeah, so you need to talk about your experience, but before that, you need to also bring a quality of your portfolio which makes little acceptable. Yeah, so there are fields. I have a separate video where I guide you more about how to fill these fields, but there is a information which you need to fill in. This till here portion, which is education, business experience, and portfolio experience, will get reviewed by PMI staff. As soon as you submit your application, this will get reviewed by PMI staff. And if they see this is good, then they will forward to a panel review. Now, when they feel it is good, they will ask you to make a payment also, because payment is needed before you go for the panel review. Once you make the payment, they will move forward for a panel review, though you need to fill the application in a one go. Yeah, you have already filled those details, but you understand this is how it will work. The major portion of application is called experience summary. So as we learned in our first segment, the PFMP exam has a 5 domain. Now for all those 5 domains, they have a 5 questions and they have a prompt. You can choose the option. You can choose option 1, 2, yeah, and you can choose the portfolio if you have put more than one portfolio. And then you need to explain in a more uh, uh, experiential or a specific language rather than a bookish language how you performed a particular activity. So it's up around 500 words you need to write, and you need to answer it for all the 5 domains. And this is something which will get tested by your panel. Yeah, they will read it, review it. If they like it, they will give you approval. If they don't like it, they will give you a one chance to improve it. If you don't improve it in 2 chances, then they will close your application and you have to restart. Yeah, that is the process of you will get your money back. Yeah, that's the thing. But this is the process of your application. Once your application experience summary get approved, they will give you a panel review approval. Usually it takes a 1 week. PMI tells it can take 60 to 90 days, something like that. But usually 1 week, 2 weeks is the maximum time you take. You get an approval, then you schedule the exam and get certified. Exam is going to be online exam with 170 questions for 4 hours. Multiple choice, single choice, right, most of the time. And that's the thing you do and get PFMP certification. Yeah. Hopefully you got an idea what it takes to get PFMP certification, and you also understood the surrounding detail related to application. If not, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, regarding this is a different type of audit and this a system for the to evaluate a candidate. I mean,
Yes. Yeah. So the way they see, the idea here is the way PMI present PFMP certification, they are saying it is very difficult to test the ability just with the use of online test, because online test is a multiple choice questions only. So we
yes,
want to have a little descriptive understanding of the person, what they really do. Yeah. So that's the with that objective. Again, it could be a little tricked as well, but with that objective, they want a candidate to fill a essay kind of stuff. You need to put an essay kind of 500 words explaining this is what I did and 5 things. And actually, what I feel when I work with the people who are working in the process of PMP certification, answering those 5 questions and me guiding them is more rewarding in understanding the roles and responsibility and the outlook of portfolio management compared to giving the online test. Online test is relatively, I would say, straightforward, yeah, in a way. Yeah, but this portion makes us think little more deeper. Yeah, that's how it
I
is.
mean there are two points covered in this one. One is this 96 months of this one after the graduation, this under this 15 years of experience. The other one is 48 months of experience, and then goes with this application process. And another one is this 5 steps of this evaluation process. So
Perfect. Yeah,
this is
perfect.
how, yeah, this
Perfect.
is how we what we got.
So if I
Yeah.
have been work, I'm a bachelor degree. If I have a 8 years of overall experience, yeah, that's the first thing.
Yes.
And out of
Yes.
8 years, I have worked 4 years in portfolio management. That is my first point. Then I start filling the application and I can
Yes.
submit that application. Then PMI reviews and approves it. Then I pay the fee and get panel review done. So that's the first level of certification step done. Once the panel review is
Mhm.
over, then I will give a computer-based online test at a Prometric center. If that get passed, then I get PFMP certified.
Certification.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh,
So it is more aligned with strategic goals. I mean,
yeah.
strategic
Strategic goals. Yes. Yes.
goals.
Alignment.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
More aligned.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. So the question is, what is the PFMP certification? So PFMP certification is for a portfolio managers, the individuals who want to position themselves into a portfolio management segment. They are the one who do PfMP certification. I can probably say this much, and you will get an idea when I also talk about how we support it. Yeah. Now we are into a second segment where I talk about how iZenBridge can support you in your PfMP journey. Yeah, what all options we have. So I move forward and talk about how we can support. Yeah. So there are, first thing is, unlike PMP, PMI is not mandating you to must go for some education provider. You can do this certification preparation and all the things yourself only. You don't have to work with any PMI authorized training provider. It's not as a compliance requirement. For example, when you do PMP, they say you need to have a 35 contact hours. When you do PMI-ACP, they ask for 28 contact hours. For PfMP, there is no requirement for contact hours. One can do it on his own. At the same time, it makes the process simple, faster, and retake fee is little expensive. So you ensure your success. So it's advisable to take assistance. It's advisable. Again, anyone can take their own calls. So if you feel you want to go little fast and you don't mind spending little money, then you can take our assistance. Now, I am as of now under the assumption, hypothesis, and probably we will validate it over a period of time, that people can prepare themselves, but they need assistance mainly in two areas. So I'm right now our product is in a two areas only. First is application. Second is validation. Am I really getting the questions right? Am I really ready for my PfMP exam? So we have a product, yeah, right now. One is independent application support. If you want to take care of rest of the things yourself, you can take that only, or you can take application support and test prep. So test prep has a domain wise test and a full length test, two full length tests, which ensures that you get the insights of how do we answer the questions for PfMP exam. The test prep also comes with my support. Like if you have any query, a particular question, you can drop a message to me. I will clarify you. If some concept is not clear, we can schedule a call also. That option will be available with the test prep. You can take both together. You can take one by one. That is the option which we are giving. As of now, I have not yet made a video-based learning program for PfMP. I may do it, but I am thinking maybe it is not needed because content is pretty much understandable by the individuals. So how do you prepare in general? You fill the application, you work with us. How do I work with you? We will share a draft, a guideline to fill the application. There is a specific guideline for how to put a portfolio description and how to put the answers. And by following those guidelines, you prepare some answers, you send it to me, I review, I edit, I propose some changes, we discuss it, and then you finalize and submit it. That's the application process. Yeah. Now, once that is done, then you start preparing. That is your self-preparation. You can follow portfolio management standard. There is a standard called third edition, which is more aligned to the exam. There is a fourth edition also. So PMI has created this particular confusion, third, fourth, third, fourth. So usually people can focus on the third edition more. And then we move forward with the mock test. The question as it is coming, I personally believe PfMP exam is far, far simpler than PGMP exam. Reason being, the boundaries are pretty contained and the situation-based questions are very limited in the exam. It's basically about that, do you know this thing? Yeah, the length of the question will be short, and it is basically testing our ability to answer out of portfolio management standard third edition only. So if I do that well, exam is more predictable, maybe because less number of people are doing it compared to PGMP exam. That is something we going with. So after application is done, you do a self-preparation, you read the portfolio management third edition. If you have a question, you ask me when you are working with me. And once you feel you are good, then you start taking mock test. Yeah, you can start taking mock test area-wise, and then you do a full-length test. So our prep program, application support is usually with the help of emails. And in the assessment area, you find the 50-50 questions for each domain to make sure that you develop a good depth in the given domain. And then we have a full length test, which will be covering the complete 170 questions. And we give a target also, and we help you to clarify questions also if they are not clear to you. So with the help of this content, the exam should be far simple for you. So that's the support you can expect from iZenBridge. Yeah. So if you want to know,
So,
yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
so are these questions close to what we can expect during the exam?
Yes, 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 yes. So they will be simulating or showing you the mock test questions, the final full length mock test questions will be coming in the similar composition and helping you to get familiarized with the type of question you can get in the exam. Yes, that's the objective of this mock.
So is it right to say that if I am getting like 90% on the mock tests, the full length mock test, is it right to say it is easy to clarify or clear the exam?
Yes, yes, yeah. So we are giving a target of 80%, usually not the 90 up there. So when you start scoring domain-wise 80%, and in a full length, we are giving a target of 85%. Ideally, you should achieve it in a first attempt itself, yeah, because you have done a domain test and they are pretty predictable, yeah. But we have a two mock. Probably in a first mock, you could not achieve it in a first attempt. You did another attempt and then you achieved it in a second attempt. If in a first attempt itself, if you are crossing 80, you should be great with the exam. Yes.
Thank you.
And we do have a website where you can find detail about our program. Yeah, that is something I will put it in the URL in the chat as well. And if you feel you can take care of application yourself, then you can directly go for prep program only.
So basically, I do have an option to pick which one I want. Do I want everything, where you will
Perfect.
do the application or directly the mockup? Are those priced separately or they're
Yes,
priced
yes, yes,
together?
yes, yes, yes. They are
The
both.
price.
Yeah. So separately also together also. Yeah. There is a little 10, 20, I think around $20 discount you get if you take it together around. Yeah. So, but yeah, they are there. Yeah. So both options are there. So for application, it's a $150. For only for exam, it's a $199. For putting them together, it's $299. So that's the around, yeah, the price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. The retake fee is 600. So in the 50% of the retake, you get both these options. Yeah. So again, it's just about getting the right feedback because of less visibility of the program. You may not have that much resources and feedbacks coming in because in case of PMP, you may be having many friends who have done it. But in case of portfolio management, you may not have that. Yeah. We also have a free playlist in YouTube of a 50 questions to give you a feel. Yeah, this is something pretty much emulates what you will see in the exam. Yeah, definitely exam will have a 170 questions, but here there are only 50. So it's a free playlist available on YouTube, 10 questions each domain. If someone is just trying to judge what is PfMP and how I should be ready, what is the complexity of it, you can check those 50 questions. Yeah. So these are 10 videos. I'm sharing the link in the chat as well. So in case you are a little bit homework, you want to do your own homework before you do anything else, then this is the playlist and you can get those questions understood. Yeah. So this is something you can do. There are some other videos of PfMP also added here, but ultimately there are 55 videos of questions you can also use. So I'm putting that link also in the chat. Yeah. Any other query? I can see something is coming in the chat. How is the program help in delivering the product in the adaptive environment? How much is the training fee apart from application and exam fee? So this program is nothing to do with project or program delivery. Yeah, it is more about ensuring project and program remains aligned to organization strategic goal. You can think of that you work with as an advisor to your decision makers, and we periodically look into what we should do next year, what kind of investments we should make, what kind of project we should close, what kind of project we should start, and why. Yeah. So doing the understanding and analysis of your future investment for the upcoming duration It might be done in segments. It's not like you are taking care of a whole company. You may have a one geography, one segment, which is allocated to you. But in that segment, you are coming up with your futuristic recommendations. Now, those recommendations may get implemented using adaptive environment or using predictive environment. That depends upon the particular element. But this strategic is anyway dynamic. Yeah, so you are definitely going to do periodic review every 2-3 months. You will have a strategic review, but you are not focusing on a given project or a program. You are focusing on your collection of projects and program, your segment, your cluster where you are expected to show strategic alignment and benefits to the organization. Yeah, so that's how we can consider it. I hope I have answered that. If not, please let me know. If all good, I am about to move towards closing of this session. So what we have covered, the objective of this session was to make you familiar with a PfMP program from PMI. That is something was the objective. So you understand what it takes and what you should do if you want to do this certification. First decision you may want to think about is it a right thing for me? So I try to explain the content and the detail and the surrounding areas, and then you can move forward and decide how it can help you in moving in your career progression. Yeah. Any follow-up queries, please connect me. You can drop message, email. My team will respond or I will respond. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active there. Yeah, if we are already not connected, that could be another source to reach me directly, and also probably follow some of the things which I keep sharing around project program portfolio management. So I'm sharing my URL in the chat, and yes, my team can anyway assist you to provide you specific details related to program. Yeah. So how much do you charge for training? As I said, we have two products as of now. One is just application support, which is $150, and another is a test prep program, which is $199. If people take both together, then it's a $299. That's it. Yeah. As of now, I don't have a video-based program explaining you the content because I believe that might not be needed. If my belief changes, I may add that program also. So I am trying to solve the problems which are relatively harder to solve. In between, you can prepare using program portfolio management standard. Yeah. So this is the fee and this is the process. So thank you everyone for your participation, and do let me know if you have any follow-up query. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.